spirit that caught up with Van Dijk, that's caught up with Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's kind of getting that right versus Liverpool. Salah beat him over that long ball. And Cancelo, it was pretty much he right at the end of the game, he was like, "Yo, that's on me. That loss is on me." And Cancelo, he's out here starting to look human again, is what I'm trying to get at. But also, it's like, I wonder. I think he's one of those players that will really benefit from just having the World Cup break. He really needs to just have a time to clear his mind and then come back, because he actually started off the season really well. I think I remember a couple of really amazing crosses at the beginning of the season from Cancelo. So it's just like amazing to see. For me, Pep's treatment of Cancelo is what is interesting to investigate, because he still picked him after that mistake that he acknowledged versus Liverpool. That's showing that your manager really trusts you and backs you and pretty much knows that he can't do that much without you. You're the most productive fullback right now at Manchester City. And but like this thing of getting a couple of mistakes, it's a sign that maybe he's getting a little tired, or maybe there's something in there that's not right. Pep, why don't you just buy a left back, play him behind Cancelo, and play Cancelo on the left of the midfield? What's wrong with that? I don't know. Only Pep knows. And speaking of Pep, like, his evolution of his game and his tactics is so intriguing and interesting to follow, but I kind of have a little bit of an inkling that like it might just, the chances, they're still dominating the ball, they're still creating chances, but I have an inkling that it might just be sort of like losing its bite a little bit, in the sense that obviously, when Haaland is there, the attack has the bite, because now they're playing to sort of fit Haaland's style. But when Alvarez was playing, Alvarez was pretty much got an amazing through pass from Gundogan right in the half space, and just had a huge angle, and he put all his power in that shot and hit a belter that hit the crossbar and went in. Man, that's a beautiful goal. But other than that chance, like, they were creating chances, but like they weren't really like chances with a bite, in my opinion. And it seems like sometimes they meet those teams, and this is also, one of those things that's sort of like a little bit because of how Fulham was defending. They weren't really like sitting in the deepest of low blocks. It was sort of like a hybrid of a mid to low block, but Manchester City's attacking style, when it meets one of those really stubborn teams, they have lower chance creation. Like, it seems like I miss the football that they used to play, when it's all just like attacking the half spaces. The ball just goes through these always, somehow they just work a triangle and always find a solution to make that ball cut back and then hit a tap in. So they might miss that goal, that type of play, that type of, I'm talking about that system that just before Aguero's departure. So Pep might actually, the point that I'm trying to get at is that Pep might actually regret switching from that, because for me, that style was just so electric and so amazing to watch. I don't know why Pep decided. I understand if you stay stagnant, eventually some coaches, some defensive coaches in the Premier League are smart enough to figure out a solution, or figure out a way to, every little poison has an antidote, is what I'm trying to say. So that's precisely why Pep keeps on evolving, but I don't like this new evolution. I know that they kind of want, the chances are even higher now for them winning. I know it's like because they won versus Fulham, but because this beast that they have in the front and this other beast that they have in the midfield by the name of Kevin De Bruyne that just sort of so connected that there was that other chance that was ruled offside, the Haaland header. It's like you don't even need any more players. You just need Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne, and then like any other player will be there to just like sort of just make the make runs and occupy space. That's sort of how Manchester City sort of is feeling like, and it's just such a I know I'm like digging it up, but also trying to say that there is a little bit of a flawed way in this pattern that they're playing right now. It's not as effective, I believe, and maybe it's one of those. It's one could say that it's a type of play that might just be suitable for winning cup games as opposed to winning the Premier League. But it's seeming like the P in EPL stands for Pat. Thanks to Marco Silva. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about wrapping up the Cancelo, right? We'll just say that, like, you can see that Manchester City definitely are missing Kyle Walker's recovery pace. They are conceding goals, and their defense is not really looking solid. I can make a case to say that Manchester United's defense is actually more solid than Manchester City's defense right now. I think if you look, I think our goals, Manchester City's goals conceded, or the goals that Manchester City have conceded are more spread out. And Manchester United have a more concentrated pattern in terms of like they conceded goals in just very few games. And you know what I mean? Like Manchester City beat us 6, Brentford beat us 4. Right, and I think that was 2. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, fine. I mean, right now, it's all about the points. That's really the thing that matters. But when you're analyzing the defenses, it seems like Manchester United has a better defense than Manchester City. Anyway, the person that I really want to talk about right now is the £100 million ball carrier. Now, I don't know. It seems like ball carrying costs a lot of money nowadays. I don't know. De Jong was priced very high. Jack Grealish. Jack Almiron Destin Grealish. I don't know. He was subbed off midweek, right? At halftime. Care who says why. They can be like, oh, he was subbed off. You don't watch Manchester City like that, so football power. You watch Man United, talk about Man United. But like, listen, if you are a top player, if you are a player that's delivering, you will not be subbed off at halftime. I can say that confidently. So Jack Grealish, let's see, what are your attributes this season? Ball carrying. Okay. What else? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because, I haven't seen a dribble. I haven't seen an assist. I haven't seen some goals that tell me that like this guy's worth 100 million. All I see is like good hair, style. What else? Passing to Kevin De Bruyne. That's pretty much your attribute. Like that's your identity. Carry the ball, carry the ball, carry the ball, carry the ball. 2 players marking you. It's like a roadblock. You're like, okay, pass back. What is that? carry the ball, carry the ball, carry the ball, carry the ball on the left side. Is that all you have, ball? Is that what 100 million is? Carry the ball, carry the ball, carry the ball. Pass back, pass back, pass back. Carry the ball, carry. What? Man, do something electric, man. Do something fire, man. Do something that's exciting. I was mad that they got you, but now I'm like, hold on. Seems like Man City's got their own Jadon Sancho. So if all I can think of is 3 attributes, and one of them relates to football, woo-wee. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Jack Grealish. I don't know. I don't care who says what, but it's not really looking like a productive, or it doesn't look like a lucrative signing to me at this point. The whole Jack Grealish financial exchange. So I'm now feeling like, okay, maybe Man City's not got that old Maguire kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully it stays like that. Almiron keeps on performing, and then people will actually try to take a little bit of a lesson from how freaking Jack Grealish, if you don't know, obviously, you know, in the preseason, Jack Grealish pretty much just sort of made fun of Almiron, and it wasn't very classy, let's just say that. You know what I mean? Especially when you're the team that's it's a little bit weird. It's some people are like, yeah, whatever, they're professionals, they should be banter, whatever. Take it. If you're a professional, you're supposed to take it. But also there's a little bit of like, if you're like, it's like when the rich kid with the Range Rover is like, well, look at y'all, your cars ain't got no airbags, and I'm out here, popping the sun, you know what I mean? Like they're dropping the rooftop, you know what I'm saying? Or dropping the top, or drop, or whatever. Like my rims, you know what I mean? I don't know. I can't think of a good analogy right now, but there's a little bit of a. When you got a little bit more money and you're like, I mean, whatever, Newcastle's got dough too, but it's just a little bit of, I don't know how to really fully articulate that, but there was just some kind of like, to me, cringe-ish, banter-ish, you know what I mean? But whatever, to each their own, but that Cancelo tackle, if somebody says that's not a penalty, I mean, that's just ludicrous. That's just flat out ridiculous. Come on now. That's the last man. That's a foul. You see his freaking boot. Come on, man. Even because it was after the coming together, right? Like his boot still lands on the guy. You know what I mean? So what are you trying to say? It's a foul. And if it's a foul, and if it's the last defender standing, and you're denying a goal-scoring opportunity, my friend, it's the end, or rather the beginning of your weekend. Walk down the tunnel, Cancelo. Woo. What a really, 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 really cruel game, though, for Fulham, because that 3 points was right there for the taking. Marco Silva, I don't care who says what. You had to go on a hike, and this is the mountain that you were supposed to climb, the Man City mountain, okay? And Marco Silva, he was like, 26 minute, it changes right here, the red card. And Marco Silva, you on a slow down, guy, release the handbrake. Why are you on a handbrake? Because there was 3 points at the bottom of the hill, Marco. 3 points to be taken, and you did not wanna let the kids play. Man. Anyway, let me shout out the people that are in the house real quick. We got Chris in the building. Oh, he's like, we need to talk about our Van der Beek. Yo, Kush, a conversation needs to be had. About this guy. So, here's my take on Donny, real quick, Kush. So, Donny, his father, Donny the principal is your father, and you've been skipping classes, and it's time for you to sit down and prove yourself. You had the chance. Oh my goodness. Like, you had the chance. I get it. It's like you haven't played in a long time, but we can't have a Dele Alli type of Donny. It didn't go well in Everton. It was like, okay, it's the system. Lampard doesn't know what he's doing. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Donny needs to. I hope he gets a chance. He probably will not start. I would not start him versus Villa. I would actually start Ericsson on the 10 role, but have Donny come in, when we in the second half, Big up to you, gaming guru. No, my God, big up to you, gaming guru. I live in Boston, Massachusetts. Where you at? Which part of the world are you at, gaming guru? Also, I think I know where Kush is in London, right? Kush, you in London? I may be wrong, but Midnight Madness in the building too. Yeah, baby. Big up to you, Midnight Madness. Yes. Yeah, Kush is in London. Gaming guru, where you at? Over here, we're family. I gotta know where you at. So when I touch down, I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Let's go watch them games and talk about our kids. Because we also need to talk about, you're right. We need to talk about Sancho. Sancho is our other kid. Sancho's been put on timeout for a long time now. It's been a long time out. It's been like longer than Ronaldo's. I mean, he also was given it. He's one of those people that was given a chance to redeem himself, right? His performance level dropped. He was subbed off. Somebody else came in, and then he was given an opportunity, and then he still didn't perform. And he's been put on that reflection. What did Ten Hag said? He said Ronaldo has to reflect. So Sancho's been reflecting. So it's a really odd one, because I honestly, before Ten Hag came through, I was so excited. I thought Sancho is the perfect guy for Ten Hag. He's a link-up play type of guy. This is actually how people, Jadon Sancho FC defends Jadon Sancho like that. That's saying, no, he's not really supposed to be taking on players like that. He needs people to link up with him, and then he'll do a little bit of a skill. But come on now, we can't keep on defending this guy, because he has pretty much, still has quite a long contract to go. But the thing is, if he doesn't perform for us after this World Cup in the next phase of in the second half of the season, I'm down to let the brother go, man. I'm down to say, Jadon Sancho, here's the road. Tell me exactly, Jadon Sancho, what the process? Big up to you, my guy. Yo, Kush says, Donny don't look like he fits in our team. Donny's just brother. Donny, let's give him time. He needs. We saw how Ronaldo did. What a lack of match fitness and sharpness can do to you. You can just look so out of tune, out of place. So you remember, because the World Cup is actually in sight. Do you remember that game when Brazilian Ronaldo, in a final, Brazilian Ronaldo was non-existent. He came out afterwards and it was like, I had a lot of stuff mentally that was blocking me, blah 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 blah. I wasn't in my, so we gotta understand that these people are players and they also go through things, right? So Jadon Sancho will give you a little bit of a pass and say, Jadon, you have time. You have 320,000. How much does he earn? 320,000. Yeah, over 320K per week. I know money don't buy happiness, but it can buy you some solutions. Unclog your mind. Tell me what's the process. Jaden. So like he needs to like find a therapist, find a psychologist, find you know what I mean. If being in an open relationship, if the current relationship you're in, Jaden Sancho, is not working for you, I suggest that you seek alternative methods in your relationship. Talk with your partner and be like, we need to spice some things up, my love. That's all. That's all. You may be surprised. You may be surprised. That goes for everybody. Kush, Gaming Guru, Midnight Madness, spice things up with your partners. You will see some productivity at your workplace. You'll see some productivity at school. You'll see different output. So that's all I gotta say. So anyway, about that. But Midnight Madness is, I think Ten Hag rates Elanga more than Sancho. Oh my goodness, man. Here's the thing. No, I beg to differ, brother, with that, because I mean, Sancho's been given a lot more starts, right? Right now, I thought you were going to say Elanga over Garnacho, but also we're going to find out really this weekend who he rates more, like in terms of Garnacho, Elanga, and Sancho. But right now, maybe Jadon Sancho is also having that attitude problem. But I want to know, what's the attitude problem? What's the attitude problem? What's the attitude problem that Garnacho used to have? Was it not saying hello to Harry Maguire on his way in? Does he like what's the attitude problem? Do you guys ever wonder what the attitude problem was? Because man, if the attitude problem is all like is something like not, or maybe just he keeps on maybe shouting like Messi's the GOAT or something, and then like that annoys the team or something. I don't know, but the thing is, we need to figure out what is going on with our youngsters. That's what I'm trying to get at, because Elanga, he's hot and cold. He came in versus Chelsea and it was the only spark that we needed. Like the only spot that we saw, because we needed one. You know what I mean? Like we made Jorginho get a yellow card and he carried that ball forward, and you're like, okay, that's the Elanga we want. And then Elanga gets a chance, and then Elanga bottles it. Elanga is non-existent. Elanga, I think it was versus West Ham or something. He was like the guy who was just like so freaking isolated. You're like, come on, Anthony, come on. I saw pictures of you Instagram in preseason. Go to his Instagram. He was like in the gym, lifting, doing all these weights. You're like, come on, apply that strength and physicality. He's like the A battery. I like to think of our team as having triple A batteries, right? All the Anthony's, but Anthony is that battery with the least charge. And he needs to just figure his life out, because either he's not really in the right league, or we need to just, Elanga the invincible. Facts. Elanga the invincible man. You're like, yo, man, show up. Come for also, but you could also make a case for him though and say he does not have the chemistry that Anthony has with Dalot. So, and he also does not have like a match rhythm. Guys, we cannot underestimate the power of match rhythm. We know when Fred comes in, he can be so like, yo, Pastor Fred, oh, come on. And then Fred gets like a run of games, and then he's like, what? Okay. Oh, this guy's Brazilian. You know what I mean? Like, so we have to also, like, when we're like looking at our kids, we gotta be like, yo, this is how much have they been playing with the team? It's not just the training, so let's see. What did Bruno mean by that attitude? yeah, I mean, but also that was like really blown out of proportion though, like the Bruno talk about if to catch up everybody else who might not be on that, but like the thing is, like, Bruno gave a post-match conference and pretty much sort of reiterated what Ten Hag said about Garnacho, about the attitude thing we're talking about. So it's like he didn't say anything bad. He just said, the guy had he actually said a lot of good stuff. He said the guy had, he took his chance, and he had an attitude problem, and now he's saying hi to Maguire. Hi, Captain. every time when he enters, and hi, bye, captain, every time when he leaves. He's no more causing a ruckus and being like, what else could Garnacho possibly do that was bad attitude? He was probably being like calling Bruno the captain and not calling Maguire. I feel like that's a more realistic situation or something. Or El Capitan. You know what I mean? Like, it could be one of those where you're just like, man, this guy's making jokes in Spanish and saying El Capitan. No, I don't know. We're only speculating, because we're on the outside. But the question still remains is like, what is bad attitude, and what we need more information. We can't just settle for that. Hopefully we get a little bit more clarity on what is actually what they mean by that. And let's talk about the other youngsters, since we're on youngsters right now. Pellistri, man. Where is Pellistri? I saw, who is the coach that gave us that pleasure of that guy? I think it was Ralph. Ralph gave us Pellistri, and man, Pellistri looks like, I was like, what do we have? Is this like a little Messi in the make? What's going on? He was carrying, our team has some weapons, but maybe we're just like not unleashing our weapons. I don't know. Pellistri will get a good sniff at the World Cup, and then we're going to see, we're going to be like, oh my goodness, we have this kid, and we have Eric gotta release the kids, man. Don't be like Marco Silva and put a handbrake on the kids, the last thing that I was thinking about too, but about the kids in the World Cup is, it's Garnacho has an awesome privilege though, of really being Messi and Ronaldo's understudy. That's such a dream for any kid, for anybody. So we have to just sort of say there's something that's going to come out of there. That just makes me feel like, man, Garnacho is one for the future. So I just want to big him up and then wrap up the menu conversation, because today we were really just talking about how Marco Silva let us down. Marco Silva, explain to me what's the process, because right now I don't get it, and it's looking a little funky. It's looking a little woozy. So big up to y'all for tuning in. Big up to Coach said, Elanga. Yeah, we read that one. Bruno should be kept. Should be the captain. Should have kept that in. Oh, Bruno should have kept that comment in the house. Yeah. But come on, the comment was already out the house by Ten Hag. People were just mad because Bruno is a player, and as a player, you have to show a little bit of humility. But Bruno is a senior player. He's like, yo, we got a WhatsApp group for the senior players, man. What the hell? The kid is not in the WhatsApp group for some reasons, because of the emojis he said. You know what I mean? No, but Bruno has a right to talk as a senior player. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That Bruno has a right as a senior player to make a comment and be like, this is how, whatever. Okay, maybe he should make it to him in private, but also let's not blow this out of proportion like the media did, because all Bruno did was compliment the guy and said that this is why he didn't get chances. He should get more chances. And Chris says, funny how Bruno kept his mouth shut when Ronaldo walked off. I don't rate Bruno. The Portuguese alliance came into the picture here. The Portuguese, he was just like, I'm not going, yeah, you're right. That's a little bit of, he would get a lot more points and credibility if he called Ronaldo out for that as as the captain, yeah. I agree with you, Coach. You're right. He should have kept the same energy and been consistent. If he's going to comment on other players and be like, bad attitude, blah, blah, blah. Why are you letting Ronaldo's attitude go, though? Bruno, why are you not talking about that? So, maybe he'll be like, no, well, he's another senior player, so so I can't really, but he's Portuguese, but that lowers your credibility down. I agree with you. Yeah, exactly. You can't be hypocritical, my man. You can't be hypocritical. So Bruno should keep the same energy if he's going to be a good captain and a good leader, because a good leader has to sort of know how to also enforce the same ethos that the manager is trying to employ, you know. So anyway, I just want to just say before we I want to wrap up the conversation about our players. We're going to do one when we do the preview. I'm going to do a preview video for the Villa game. But what I want to say is, to wrap up the Manchester City conversation, is just how Alvarez was such a bargain. My goodness. Alvarez looks like an upgraded Jesus and with a little bit of Sterling. Man, Alvarez, he's hungry to prove himself, and he's got some stiff competition for his position. But the man he just makes me my heart pain more and be like, why couldn't we get this guy? Why? Anyway, big up to y'all for tuning in, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for making this show really enjoyable, and I really enjoyed talking with y'all. Coach, Midnight Madness. We're gonna end it and saying, blame the motherfucking Glazers! Enjoy the weekend, my guys. Big up for tuning in.